Last week, we discussed the importance of rhythm and how it goes beyond strumming patterns. One of the keys to success on guitar is learning how to infuse everything you do with rhythm. And the example we gave was switching chords with the rhythm instead of just switching at random times, like a lot of beginners unfortunately build the habit of doing. And I also mentioned that most methods, whether it's from a book or even if you take lessons in a store, they'll do a good job of showing you a couple simple chords at the very beginning, but then they go down the wrong path, overwhelming you with tons of chords rather than working on things in a simpler way that gets you playing songs sooner. And today, I want to fill in all those blanks because I don't want to make it seem like you shouldn't be learning chord shapes or anything like that. I want to explain to you the best way to do it, when to incorporate certain things into your practice regimen so that you're learning the right thing at the right time. Real quick before we get started, if you just want all the answers and to follow along with the method, I have a free crash course that'll teach you your first 2 songs on guitar as well as all the basics like tuning, holding your guitar properly, some warm-up exercises, all the stuff you need to get started successfully on guitar and build up that proper foundation. There's a link in the corner for that and down below. Anyways, I want to start out by laying down my game plan for the average beginner. Lesson 1, you learn how to hold the guitar and how to tune it, and a couple of simple chord shapes. Lesson 2, you refine those chord shapes with the chord switching game, which includes the element of rhythm. 1, switch, 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 1, and so on. And usually by the end of this lesson, you're playing through a simple song that uses those 2 chords. So for instance, you could be playing Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen using E and A sus2, which is a little simplified, but you play that with just 4 downstrokes in a really simple way. Born in the USA, you learn how to count along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and that gives you that skill of keeping your place in the music so that you don't get lost, and all of a sudden you're playing a song. And then lesson 3, you're getting bored of playing the song in such a bland, downstroke only way. And students usually ask to learn a strumming pattern. And once again, here is a critical point where many teachers, even myself when I was newer to teaching, make a huge mistake. They get into all the downstrokes and upstrokes, when instead, before you do that, you should probably learn to capture the feeling of the song, like this. So I'm still just playing downstrokes, but instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm moving on to the next step in counting, the kind of counting that you're going to use with strumming patterns, where we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, just with downstrokes. You get used to that. And you can even emphasize certain beats. And this is a critical missing step, overlooked so often. So many people want to use the strumming pattern, which by the way is just a guideline. Listen to any professional recording and the strumming pattern changes throughout the song. But what stays the same is the feeling. And that's what we're going to do here with downstrokes only, counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we can capture the feeling just by emphasizing certain beats. And you'll find that you kind of pick up on this automatically, or you can just underline the beats that you want to do. Like say I want to emphasize beats 2 and 4, I'll just underline that. I'll say them louder. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Speed that up a little. That sounds like the song, we're not using, you can get more complex as time goes on, but this is the entry into that. Because the truth is, once you introduce upstrokes, you have to adjust how you're picking, how you're gripping the pick, the motion that your arm makes. There's a lot of mechanics involved. Whereas this way, we're saving the mechanics for a later step. We're doing an intermediary step that allows us to build into it to get that rhythm inside first, instead of just leaping in that direction and hoping that we land on our feet. Anyways, that's lesson 3. Now we're at lesson 4, and by now it's starting to sound like you can play some real music. You're starting to get that confidence playing through an entire song. And this is the point where we would do the usual plan that you would find in those method books. I'm not going to name and shame, but I have a bunch of them back there, and they're all guilty of this. You flip to page 1, and it's like, here's a G chord, here's a D chord, here's where to put your fingers, and you're just going to practice switching, count along. Here's a strumming pattern, down, down, up, down, up. There you go. You're playing a song. Congratulations. And that's a great plan. But the problem is the book's taking several lessons worth of stuff and condensing it into what seems like 10 minutes. And some people are capable of breaking it down themselves. I am, and I guess that's why I'm a teacher. But most people, in my experience, teaching literally thousands of aspiring guitarists, they don't know how to break it down. So that's why we did what we've done so far. But now at this point, we're ready to learn songs, learn more chords, more patterns, techniques, and all that stuff. And I would break song learning down in the following way. You pick a song and you see what chords it uses. You practice switching between just those chords. You learn the strumming pattern and you play the song. And you start doing that with 2 chord songs. And after a while, you learn, 3 or 4 songs, 5, 6, 7 chords. And then you can start combining those chords into groups of 3, learning 3 chord songs, using the chords that you already know. And you'll have to work on a little bit more switching because maybe you never switch between A and D, but you switch between A and E. So when you go to learn a song that uses A, E, and D, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. There's just one more switch. And then for the strumming patterns, you might realize that you've already learned it because, 50% of songs use like 3 strumming patterns. And even if you're not familiar with the strumming pattern, you know that you should play all downstrokes with the song and capture the feeling of it first. And then from that point, it's not too difficult to learn that new strumming pattern because you're already feeling it inside. All you got to do is just train your arm to move down and up at the right time. Feeling the rhythm is 95% of it, and it's just 5% training up that muscle memory and doing the right up and down strokes in the right order. Now, when it comes to accomplishing this, like I said before, I have that crash course for absolute beginners or people who unfortunately skipped over some of these critical steps and were never able to play a full song no matter how long they practiced for. And I want you to do that first. But once you've done that, I have another freebie for you guys. It's my free ebook. And this is for those of you who are at that point that we just talked about, where you're ready to start building your chord vocabulary, to learn more strumming patterns, and to start learning 3 and 4 chord songs. And as always, there's no catch, it's completely free. I'll put a link down below where you can just go and download it. I also have a page on my site with a song finder that lets you select the chords that you know or the strumming pattern that you want to work on, or lets you sort out songs by difficulty, the key, all that stuff. It basically helps you find the exact right song to learn for your current level. And once again, that's completely free. So please take advantage of these resources. I will see you again next week where we will discuss some ways to go beyond chords and strumming, because for many people, that's just a stepping stone to obtain the basic skills. And really, you probably, they might want to learn fingerstyle or to play lead or do something else on guitar. So that's what we're going to go over next time. If you enjoy learning guitar with me, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to help support me in my endeavor to teach you guitar, I have a bunch of premium courses for all skill levels. I'll put links down below for all that stuff in the description. Have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.